This is going to be a huge series for the outcome of this weekend, but even more important than the series, finally, Matt and I were casting together.
I know.
I've gotten away from Maven.
It's been a while.
Feels good to be back up.
It's always good to get away from Maven for a bit. You live with him here. You live with him in New York.
We work out together. We work together, obviously, on a full-time basis. We literally
I know me and together. Scott Gandhi, thank you very much.
I'm making a major sacrifice in my life, but Matt, I need to ask you really quick.
Yes.
For the viewers at home, what is the importance of this series right now? Everyone knows, every team was 2-2. Now we know EG up at 3-2, FaZe at 2-3. Fnatic and Rise Nation about to play things out. Break this down for us.
So, in terms of Fnatic, right? I mean, they do not own a tiebreaker over FaZe.
Okay.
1-1. Now, right now they're 1-0 against EG. They're 0-1 against Rise Nation. So he needs this win here to split against Rise Nation, get some more maps in terms of overall map count. If you're Rise Nation, you're the one team here that controls their own destiny. They have an easy way to first place. They win both their games today. They're looking really good.
Let's see if they can get it done. We're watching Rise Nation off the break. Felony, who we've seen some up and down performances from so far this weekend. When Rise are at their best, it is when he is performing well. Off the break, it is 3 kills for Fnatic right away, as they will get control of the hard point.
And I love how different these two teams are. It's like you have Rise Nation, like Aix was saying, they play really together, really structured. They know what they want to do. On the other side of things, you have Fnatic. The twin brothers, they're absolutely insane. They could do anything at any time. I mean, we see yesterday, not enough time to plant the bomb. They go over attempting to plant the bomb anyway.
Yep.
You see, it's just a reckless playstyle from Fnatic. Just two completely different teams going at it here.
And it's fun to watch. They're a team that are flashy. Tommy is probably aging twice as fast as a normal human being, trying to be the leader of that squad with the brother duo in Scraps and Wuskin right now. Those two a combined 3 and 4 off the break of this map. Rise will get the scrap time, but if you look at your minimap, Fnatic do have a presence towards his back cell block hardpoint. Some key engagements, though, about to go down now, Matt, for the spawns.
Yeah, but you do see Fnatic holding on here, picking up a few kills in the feed. There's one member of Rise Nation trying to get behind enemy lines, and that's going to be Felony. He's got one player to his right, another to his left, able to pick up one, but Fnatic doing a fantastic job here, holding down cell block. And Jack, I gotta say, this is a Fnatic team that would be very good in respawn game modes. They just need Tommy to show up a little bit more. Sunny B comes in, picks up a fantastic 2-piece. But if Tommy plays well in these respawns, Fnatic can hang with anybody.
He was his biggest critic last night. One of my favorite interviews I've ever done in my career. If you haven't had the chance to watch it, go back, look for the VODs. It's after the final series of the night. Tommy, I thought he was about to break down and cry on stage. The guy was very upset with how he was performing. A very stressful match, obviously winning it in Game 5. Right now, currently 2 and 5. Still, his respawn struggles continue in the slaying department. But again, he brings more to this team than just the stats in game.
Oh, without a doubt. He is the leader of this squad. You look at the 3 players he's playing with, not a ton of international experience before this year.
Nope.
He kind of sticks with them. And I think he's actually given them a big vote of confidence, right? When everybody's making changes in Europe, he comes out right away before anything goes down. He says, hey, we are not changing our roster. This is the roster we're going to go with. And you see, they are just playing with so much confidence. Tommy flies over the top, picks up 2. They break grave right away.
And I think it's a testament, too, to how great of a leader Tommy is and how much of a factor he can be in European Call of Duty. When Fnatic, when they picked up the squad, he told them, listen, we will not be the best team in Europe right off the bat, but give us time. Let me build these new players up. And now they've gotten to this point on the verge of finishing top 2 in this group.
Is Tommy the most underappreciated player in Europe?
You could absolutely make an argument for it. I mean, when it gets talked about with the legends of all time, I mean, you throw Swanee in, you throw Mad Cat in.
Oh, Jerd.
Tommy, yes, it's brought up, but I don't think it's more of a stat thing or his slang. It's more just like what he's done at European events, but still, his leadership, I mean, I would say he's the best leader in all of Europe.
Yeah, I think it's hard to just kind of put like just a value on what he brings to a team, right? Yeah. I mean, when you talk about some of the best players in Europe, we're always talking about, Bance and Zero, Jerd, Mad Cat, those types of players, Swanee, in past years. And Tommy's right there. I mean, he's playing with those guys, helping them win big moments. You see Wuskin now on a 5 streak as Fnatic. They break Commissary, and they're just blowing this game completely open.
All 4 players right now involved for Fnatic. You see Scrap spots 3 on the wall run. He'll back on out, does not challenge. The pinch does come in from Tommy. Matt, the big outlier in this game. Yes, Rise Nation, 3 of their players are struggling. Look at Looney.
Yep.
1 and 11 with 0 seconds in the objective.
No bueno.
This is literally a 3
No
versus
bueno.
4 right now.
Yeah, I mean, Looney is not giving them anything. I mean, literally nothing. I mean, he's got no objective for time. He's got 1 kill.
I would love to see his total score.
This is rare. I mean, you see the gunfights he's losing. Looney is a fantastic player. He brings a ton to this Rise Nation team. But right now, just getting off to a really rough start. I mean, this is so uncharacteristic from Looney as a player.
Absolutely. Right now, Wuskin on a 7 streak, 1 kill or assist off this bombardment. He's just going to dance around the hard point for the moment. We know streaks can be very useful, mainly on this map for that Graveyard Hill. Unfortunately, though, no cover from showers. Does get cut down. Looney with 2 kills right there, doubles the amount he's gotten for the rest of this map. And during this time of Looney's 1-12 start, Matt, Fnatic have twice the score of Rise.
But you know, the Rise Nation team does keep it kind of close here, Jack. If Looney, turns it around in the second half, I mean, Aqua, quite frankly, not playing much better than Looney. If those 2 players turn it around in the second half, this is when Rise Nation could easily come back and take.
Rise Nation clawing back into things. The rotation, though, towards cell block last time was dominated by Fnatic. They had players in the spawns from, well, even 25 seconds out. Again, they have the full setup they want. I want to follow Rise Nation through this push for the break, see what they can get done. It's engagements like this that they have to win to try to force these spawns out. We're on board with Felony right now as he wraps back towards middle map.
Yeah, Aqua won one gunfight, but they just were not fast enough to get to that back area and force those spawns out. You see right now, Fnatic, they know what they have to do. Just keep trading these kills out, Jack. They have that spawn control. They're doing a fantastic job.
And I love being able to see from this perspective because we typically watch a team inside the hard point, right, as they're holding this push. Look at how frustrating this is for Rise Nation so far. They've tried to push from 3 different lanes, now just going for the outer wall run hit. Already the lead back up to 70 seconds for Fnatic. Looney at this point, he's not even trying to get kills. He's just trying to dance around and stay alive. There he gets cut down. A full hold on cell block again for Fnatic. They're going to have a 100-second lead going into the Graveyard Hill.
And now, Rise Nation, I mean, your best chance is to hold Grave, then you hold Commissary. Maybe you get some streaks. You start to get closer to those abilities. And then you just kind of hope and pray you can get control of cell block on that 3rd go-around.
In that interview last night with Tommy, he brought up how they were being outslayed by 20-plus kills, but only lost the hard point by about 25 seconds. Right now, they're outslaying by about 14 kills, but they're up by 90 seconds. Their focus on the objective, Matt, are arguably second to none this weekend.
Oh, without a doubt. And you kind of came into, I don't want to say today in general, but the biggest question mark in Respawn, Sunny B, he's got 21 kills. But look at the game that Scraps is putting together. 14-8, currently on a 2 streak, but look at the hill time, Jack. 2 minutes and 30 seconds and counting inside of the hard point.
Jesus.
That is an insane score line from Scraps. You got to figure most of his kills are coming inside of the objective as well.
And he's on pace for, right now he has the least amount of engagements on his team. So to a viewer at home, Matt, someone new to hardpoint, what does it mean when the guy in the objective where all the action is focused has seen the least amount of gunfights?
Well, that just means his teammates are doing a fantastic job just slaying these players out before they can get close to the hardpoint and challenge Scraps. And I think you really got to give a lot of credit to Sunny B in this type of situation. 23-13, having a fantastic game. You see he does not have a ton of objective time. That means he's pushing out these lanes, pushing out these cuts, picking up the players before they can get close to the hills of Fnatic.
Fnatic fans, your team can win off this Commissary hard point right here. Again, the rotation in favor of this European squad. One thing to point out, though, Looney, who was 1-12, now 12-16, make it 13-16 on a 7 streak. Unfortunately, is cut down before he can earn the bombardment, and look at how far out Rise Nation just spawned.
And Looney has really picked it up in the second half, and you kind of look. I mean, he's almost got the same score as Aqua at this moment in time, and Vicento has completely fallen off. So it seems like when Looney started to play better, if you thought the rest of his teammates could have picked up their pace, stayed at the same place they were playing at the beginning of the game, they make it close. But Looney showed up here in the second half of this hard point, but nobody else has for Rise Nation.
I mean, it's pretty simple to see. One team has 4 players all clicking, and that is Fnatic. The other side, Rise Nation, it was first Looney, as you mentioned, was really lagging behind. Then it was Vicento. They are not out of this yet, though. If they can fight for some time on this middle hard point and then really win the rotation towards cell block, this 80-second lead could be easily cut in half. Unfortunately, though, 3 dead now for Rise Nation as Fnatic looks to take back.
I tell you what, too, Jack. I know, from working with Pat specifically, you come into group play sometimes and you have that #1 seed. You come in, you don't feel like there's a ton of pressure on you. You lose a game, all right, we're still in first, whatnot. Fnatic comes in today, they know they need wins. They bring out that intensity in game 1. EG in our first series, they have that backs against the wall mentality. They come out and take their series against FaZe as well. And it's going to be a 250 to 149 win in map 1 for Fnatic. And that is a statement game here to kick the series off.
Coming into today, both of these teams were 2-2. The difference, Rise Nation, a 9-7 map count. Fnatic, an 8-8 map count. After that map win, it is now both teams at a 9-8 map count, keeping things close. This is what everyone wanted from this blue group, Matt. It has not disappointed this weekend.
Oh, without a doubt, and I am really kind of shocked. I'm not really shocked, but Fnatic, speaking to them, they did not get great practice playing at home. A lot of teams obviously traveling over here early. They, some of the other teams not really putting in a ton of time. So it's very difficult for Fnatic to get great practice, and they have showed up this weekend in a big way, Jack. I mean, they're looking to potentially, depending on how the rest of the day goes, like take #1 in this group, which I don't think anyone would have predicted.
Crazy to think that they're the only European squad in this group, the only group that has that, where they are the lone ranger from their region. Now at this point, we got to ask Sunny B earlier this weekend what his greatest moment was in his career. Let's take a look.
I mean, my greatest MLG moment, I've already been to 2. So I don't really have one. I'd probably say when we beat LG because we were such an underdog. I know that's not really nothing major, but because we didn't play so well, but that's probably my best MLG moment.
Sunny B, the guy that maybe doesn't get talked about the most on this team because, the breakout brother duo in Scraps and Wuskin, and obviously the veteran Tommy getting a lot done for the team. But so far this weekend, I would argue that he's been one of my more impressive players in this entire group.
Yeah, Sunny B's been fantastic. And I think a lot of pressure on him in the respawns, like we talked about in game 1. How he plays in that. We've seen him use some, interesting gun choices in certain games, and his teammates kind of joking about it, before when I was doing the interviews with them. And I think, look, he's been fantastic for them in uplink. He's showed up on occasion in big times in hardpoint. I think, though, S&D is where Fnatic really makes their mark.
And I want to make sure everyone at home knows this. Benson just passed us a piece of paper from the analyst desk.
Okay.
And this is actually big for what goes on today. As you can look at, cell block was very well dominated by Fnatic, 87 seconds to 1. But as you get to take a look at that breakdown on your screen, I want to bring up what this series means right now. If Fnatic take this series, then later on, Fnatic or EG are guaranteed first in this group because the winner of that series will be 4-2.
Yeah.
And then obviously Rise Nation and FaZe will play later on today in prime time. So it's pretty simple, Fnatic fans. Your team wins right here, then they have a fight for first later against EG.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of look, if Rise were to potentially beat FaZe, the Rise comes into today obviously already having more maps than everybody else.
Yep.
We'd have to see how the map count shakes out there. And then let's say it comes down to a situation where FaZe and EG are tied. EG is 2-0 against FaZe. So really not shaking out good for FaZe today.
There is a very real opportunity that FaZe will be the team heading to relegation. We've obviously got more games to be played. We hope you're enjoying the coverage of the CWL Global Pro League presented by PlayStation 4. I've been loving this group, but there's still more action to come. MLG.tv/Pro League. Tickets still available for next week. The final week sold out. But then also playoffs tickets, I believe, are now public as well to go ahead and purchase those. So MLG.tv/Pro League, get out to the MLG Arena. Definitely a lot of fun meeting everybody here so far this weekend.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I love when we get the the fans in the building, they're cheering. The fans have been great this weekend too. It's not just like cheering on FaZe or whatnot. I think it was like Fnatic EG the other day in the morning or Fnatic Rise, like they were still going crazy. So fans here in Ohio showed up in an awesome way.
Great job, everybody in the venue. Everyone watching at home, though, we love you just as much. We wish you were here joining us, but to be quite honest with you, there's not enough space in this building. Maybe at Anaheim, though, which tickets are on sale for that, too. I'm plugging everything right now.
Oh, you're like machine.
I'm about to get a raise. No, I'm just kidding. But no, Anaheim, again, that's another thing that these teams are playing for. Finishing top 3 in these groups guarantees them a spot in pool play. Also, the team that gets 4th will be at Anaheim, but for a completely different reason.
Yeah, relegation.
That will be for relegation. Those matches will not disappoint as well. June 16th to the 18th at the Anaheim Convention Center, Hall A, $200,000 on the line.
I love Anaheim as an event. Every year, the crowd is just insane. I love California. I miss the sun, man.
So do
we were
I.
living there last year.
Yeah.
So you go back to New York, all these cold days. Stinks.
rough.
I don't like the cold, man.
I mean, I didn't go outside a lot in LA, but at least the sun there helped me get a little bit of a tan. Now, woof, I am more pale than anybody in this venue. Let's go ahead and change the topic, though, over to Throwback Search and Destroy, which will be map number 2. We saw last series Nagathan hitting some crazy little snipes over that underpass jump up. Maybe something similar here between these two teams. We'll have to find out. We know what Wuskins does, though, on this map, Matt. Momo was saying he can't remember the last time he watched a Fnatic Search and Destroy where Wuskin didn't drop like 10+ kills.
Yeah, I mean, he's been incredible. I believe, I think I saw last night, he was #1 in SND, KD this weekend, 1.64. Just absolutely insane. I mean, we saw Shox have a fantastic weekend in SND.
Yeah.
You know, for Mind Freak, Wuskin really doing a fantastic job. And we'll see here Tommy bringing out the sniper rifle right away.
This gets me excited, folks. It's game number 2 of our best of 5. The only European team in this group trying to carry the continent on their back as they have a 1-0 map lead versus Rise Nation and Fnatic's Tommy already peeking on out, trying to watch over his teammate. This should be a quick little plant down today, Matt.
He's trying to go over the top. See if he can just take one player out. And I think that when you have a team that potentially has some aggressive players like Felony going towards the mid-map, you can bring the sniper rifle out to really get him a little bit cautious early on. And then maybe later in the game, like you don't even have the sniper, but he's just thinking potentially they do and not pushing them as hard as possible.
Oh, absolutely. Mind games to be played a lot in Search and Destroy with this weapon. Look at the timing, though. If we could swap on over to Sunny B, beautiful job, as he is now waiting to see if there is a Rise Nation push coming. He could not be more right. Felony peeks the corner and wins the gunfight. That completely changes how this round plays out. Now, Wuskin and Tommy, they have to panic. They have no idea if they're going to get flanked, if there's going to be pressure from the front. Aqua's there holding the angle. It's a veteran himself, Tommy, left in a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, and this is where having the sniper does not help you.
No.
Obviously, no overkill. Gonna have the pistol only. There'll be Rise Nation taking round 1.
That's big. That is big. Looney started it off with the first blood. He actually picked scraps off that bomb site, which stopped Fnatic from being able to focus on the objective. And then from then on out, Rise Nation just moved around the map, gained some control, won some clutch 1v1 gunfights, and it all easily fell into place from there. Does Fnatic keep the sniper in the hands of that man right there on your screen, Tommy? It does appear so. I like this. We'll follow him again into round number 2 to see if he can get first blood first team.
He's going to take that route that we saw Nagathan use, and you saw Aqua going over the top as well. We'll see how Rise decides to play this. It looks like they're going to send Aqua to watch the flank. Have 3 players stack up on site. Looney with the E-Rad in his hands and bomb. Potentially he could slide in, try and pick up that first kill, or try and get bombed down, have some cover.
Yeah, there's so much presence from Fnatic near this A site. Felony, you can see he's just backing on up, and this is what I love to see. This is something that FaZe really didn't do, and I know a few of the analysts were critiquing them for it. They never rotated towards this B site. They never focused on this area of the map. Now, though, they've got some presence here from Rise. They can make a play towards this area.
It's almost like retaliation, right? I mean, everybody is saying, oh, we can't go bridge side, we can't go bridge side. And then, like, you see teams just push it, and it works so well.
Yep.
I mean, Aqua has this locked down, and they're just so reluctant to bring the bomb over. And now you see he's just given up this position. At least Fnatic now has to worry about the flank, but here comes the push from Rise. It's going to be Looney getting 1. Felony picking up 2 kills as well, coming over the top. It'll be Tommy, the only one alive. Well, they know where he is, at least.
They do. Bomb, though, should go down here momentarily. Vicento in charge of playing that objective. So it is Vicento and Aqua up against Tommy, and they do know at least what area of the map he's coming from. So they will set up from back bowling. 35 seconds left. Can Tommy clutch the 1v3?
Picking up a K-bar. He has to know where at least one player is.
Yep.
Always behind the bus in the back, looking over the bomb.
I actually really like this angle he's pushing on in from. He does see him at that bus side. The pinch will come into play, though. Tries to spot the player towards the bomb. Unfortunately, not going to happen. Nice play from Rise Nation. Split up there. He's got to kill you both and then defuse the bomb. But with that little time left, you might as well just run away, even if your teammate does
He
stop.
should have just killed this guy and then jumped on the bus and sniped the other guy. That would have been sick. I mean, I made that sound a lot more casual than it would have been.
It would have been sick.
Yeah, it probably would have been the way to do that. Do that.
Is that
an absolutely awful position.
Yeah, I feel like that's how you used to coach complexity.
Oh, why don't you just kill all of them?
Yeah, all right, fine. And they did that a lot, so I think it worked. Good job, good job. And look at this now. Rise Nation feeling like there's going to be some sort of play towards B from Fnatic. Fnatic feeling like there's going to be presence here A from Rise Nation, and they both just push up the map. This mini-map is completely flipped on its head.
And you just see this.
Look at this. Look,
now Fnatic's running the other way.
Okay, now they're going to go for this plan on the opposite side.
I love watching Fnatic. You just never know what the hell's going to happen. So now the bomb is down, and the teams have essentially swapped sides.
Yep.
We'll see how Rise Nation plays for a retake here. Fnatic has planted the bomb for their side on defense, so don't need to push all the way through.
Yeah.
See if somebody's defusing. So Looney gets some eyes on bomb now.
25 seconds left. Rise Nation do at least cut down 3. Sunny B. Still possible to clutch this one on up. Spots Felony top train. Felony's been sitting up there all game long. 5-1. Nice stuff from him. And yes, of course, give the defuse to Looney. Let your camo player get closer and closer to that payload. Rise Nation in full control of this game.
3 rounds in a row for Rise. You got Felony and Looney both playing well. Looney got off to a rough start in the hard point, but if you actually looked at the score towards the end, he actually played really well in the second half. Now kind of carrying that play over here into S&D with Felony, trying to even up this series.
Remember, if you missed it, prior to this map, we talked about how if Fnatic win this series, then them or EG are guaranteed first in this group, as they will battle later on to see who will go 4-2 overall. First, though, they've got to win here against Rise Nation. Currently down 3-0 in this S&D. Thankfully, they didn't win the hard point again. Matt, another weird round developing.
Yeah, and Felony's going to grab first blood, gets a second player weak as well. It's going to be Scrapso coming in, trading that out. But see Rise Nation just doing a fantastic job. I'm just really not sure what Fnatic's trying to do. Rise Nation is just blowing them out here in game number 2.
They're making these trades look easy. Rise are always near each other. We even saw yesterday on this exact map in the EG versus Rise game where both Nameless and Looney had camo. Nameless gets 1 kill, and he knows how good of a trading team Rise Nation are that he immediately popped the camo right away. It helped him get out of the line of sight, hide behind cover, and win the round for his team. But it just shows that teams are so scared of the trade potential from Rise Nation, they seem to always be on the same page and pace.
And everybody for Fnatic not playing well right now. I mean, you got 2 kills on Tommy and Wuskins each, a kill each for Scraps and Sunny B. Just kind of tells you these rounds have not been close, Jack.
Nope.
I mean, they've just kind of been blowouts in favor of Rise Nation. See Aqua getting into position here. Fnatic decide to rotate. He's going to be able to pick up at least 1 and probably get out with his life.
If only he had X-ray vision to see everyone through those walls. Aqua does get first blood. He'll play his life right away, a sign of a very smart search and destroy player. Look at that.
Way too easy.
Darts back to his side. Fnatic trying to give chase. Little do they know, he's been way out of there.
It's just way too easy right now for Rise Nation. See Aqua spots 1. Going to back up even further. Tommy with the sniper rifle gives his position away. Now you're relying. Tommy coming over the top here with the K-bar in hand. He's going to get gunned by Facento. And now with only 2 players up, Scraps in an awful position with bomb in hand. He falls. Be a 1v2 here for Wuskin.
And he still has to plant this bomb. They know where he is. Wuskin spots them both. And what do you know? Both Rise Nation players there to challenge 2 versus 1. What a beautifully played round by Aqua. The first blood gets away, just calls out to his teammates, falls back until he has the help he needs, and there stays alive to even get the final kill.
In Rise Nation, every time one of their guys drops, there's a player in position to trade it out.
Yep.
Not the same for Fnatic. You see Sunny B just run right into the crosshair of Aqua. Aqua runs away with a few seconds to spare for anybody to even react for Fnatic. So you do have Looney with camo in this round. Rise could secure a 6-0 win here against Fnatic and S&D.
And this makes perfect sense. Look, Facento sees 3 players jumping towards Lemon. What do Rise do? They flood right upfield, put themselves in a great spot now to play this objective towards the B site. You've got Facento all the way across the map from his teammates, but Looney and crew looking for this first blood. Felony gets it again. They are in. This is so one-sided, Matt.
I mean, you may not even need to use camo. I mean, they clear out the back area. Fnatic now
okay.
has to figure out how they want to push this, and Looney is going to pick up 1 here in the middle of the map. It's going to be Felony finishing the kill off with the assist.
Look at this right there. Perfect example.
This is just not close.
I will tell you right now, that is one of the most one-sided search and destroy games I have seen in Infinite Warfare. Matt, when's the last time you saw a game where there was not a fear of Rise Nation losing a round?
There was not any round that I was like, oh, this is going to be close.
Yep.
I mean, every round was just a complete blowout. Looney and Felony played big for Rise Nation. Game number 2 evens up our series at map apiece.
If you want to know how to play throwback search and destroy, go watch that VOD. Again, from Rise Nation. Every time they were in a scenario where they needed to be together, they were.
Yep.
Even in the 1v2 that Tommy was trying to clutch, or 1v3, sorry, you saw with 16 seconds left, they could have easily pinched him. Instead, don't even risk it.
Yep.
Don't even let Tommy make a world star play. Just run away, hightail it on out of there, win the round. Beautifully played.
Just a really easy win there for Rise Nation.
Yeah.
I think they're probably even shocked with how easy that was, knowing how good of an S&D team Fnatic is. But you know, the guys on the desk talked about it. They didn't think Throwback was going to be Fnatic's strength in S&D. Which now we go into Uplink for Game 3. That's a game mode that Fnatic's been quite good on, though.
Fnatic have been good at it both times these teams played this map in Throwback Uplink this weekend. Day one, they kept their opponents scoreless. Who will win it here? This is day 3. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, more Call of Duty action. Here is our G Fuel key player matchup for Fnatic versus Rise Nation. Two players who typically excel in Search and Destroy. One is at a monster weekend where up to this series, Wuskin's at a 1.64, where Felony struggling a little bit with a 0.75, but the big note to take away, overall, when these players are doing well for their team, it puts their squad in a great position to secure the victory. Felony has had his ups and downs this weekend, but in the respawn game modes is where he's been his most consistent. Can Wuskin match that performance and help Fnatic take the 2-1 series lead? We'll find out right after this, the G Fuel key player matchup.
Fnatic versus Rise Nation tied up at 1 game apiece going into the uplink. Rise Nation, they dominated game number 2. Fnatic stole that first respawn, Jack. Going into game 3, I would have to favor Fnatic a little bit. You know, they looked great in that first respawn. They've been fantastic in uplink post-Dallas. But there's a team that, when they start to get clicking, could be scary here this weekend, get a ton of confidence. It is Rise Nation.
Both of these squads do a great job of knowing when to focus on the objective, get those couple kills they need to then be able to push forward and try to get a score on the board. It's what you love to see from these squads, and you're going to be watching it a lot, especially on Throwback, Uplink. Either way, we were just talking during the break, we're so happy with how this weekend is broken down to this point. Every match means so much in the grand scheme of things.
And I think coming into Throwback, we saw Fnatic, their main issue the other day in Uplink was just their poor camo use. And by poor, I mean their non-existent use of camo.
Yeah.
I think if you're Rise Nation, you focus on getting those abilities, seeing how you use them together. And I look, Fnatic, I mean, they've had some crazy games. You know, Frost, when they're throwing the drone back and forth at each other, they're not using the camo at all. They've had some odd games at Uplink. They're still winning them, but some really odd games.
Yesterday, after the matches were done, we went outside, and everyone was about to head on their way back home. And we saw Scraps and Wuskin and the whole Fnatic crew, and I walked up to Scraps and said, Scraps, you are the worst camo player in the entirety of the CWL. He went, whoa, mate, you see Eggs play with camo, mate? And then Wuskin immediately gets into it because Wuskin apparently wants to use camo, and they haven't been letting him use it. So now you got Scraps and him going back and forth. Then Tommy goes, boys, it was like bring your kids to work day. Tommy having to calm them down. It was
the brothers are too funny, man. I mean, one makes a joke, the other's in the corner giggling all like crazy. I convinced Wuskin yesterday to take a bite out of Marky B's cookie when Marky B left the room to put it back where he was. And then, like, Marky just walks in, and he's like, oh, it was you, Wuskin. Like, he just starts giggling like, they're too funny.
Yesterday, they tried to start the game with a clan tag with an 0-15, which is what I once went between 2 maps of Search and Destroy. Both.
How long are you going to milk this 0-15?
No, it's not that. I'm just bringing it up because they're just having fun. The refs, before they get started, they were about to start the game. The refs had to pause because admins were saying they cannot have that. They both had to remove it. That's how these guys are going into these games. They're just enjoying their time on the main stage, and it's great. It's great to see.
And we saw Fnatic on, I believe it was Frost the other day. They ran 4 SMGs. Potentially, maybe they try and ramp up the pace here on Throwback and run 4 ERADs as well. So we'll have to take a look as we cycle through some of the players. See Wuskin actually in the feed, so he's going to be running the NV4. So you do see Scraps with the K-Bar, and Tommy and I believe it's probably Scraps going to be running the SMGs here for Fnatic.
And you saw right there, Fnatic get 2 kills. They just try to get the drone forward. Not sure if I agree with the decision that time around, especially with the respawn times that Rise Nation had. They were easily there to stop it. That was a member just throwing the drone, trying to get it off the map. Unfortunately, it does actually land in their base, so the drone doesn't reset. Rise Nation can try to push and get a dunk off of this one. One player still here, Tommy. Who but Tommy to get the clutch kills and now get control of the drone.
That is such a big 2-piece there from Tommy. Secures the base. It would have been a score for Rise Nation. Looked like they could potentially have put in a 2-point play there. You see Tommy was on a 2 streak there with the drone in hand. Sunny B just picks up his first kill mid-map. Now he's starting to get cooking with the ERAD.
Sunny B still pushing right on through. His first name, Gertup. They call him Gertup the God for a reason with this gun. Unfortunately, Facento gives him the hands to the face right there. 1.5 minutes into this game, still scoreless. As I mentioned earlier on, the first day, both of these teams, when they played Throwback Uplink against their respective opponent, they kept them scoreless through the entire 10 minutes.
And we've seen Sunny B, when he's been running the SMG role, he's been using the Evo exclusively. And then now he's going to be switching over to the ERAD. So I wonder if his teammates finally kind of talk some sense into him, switch over to the better SMG or whatnot. But see Looney with drone in hand. He's caught in a really tough position. Jack, players pinching on him from both sides. 2 minutes in, completely scoreless. Not a great scoring attempt, I know, from the side of Fnatic yet thus far. Rise Nation had a chance to put in a 1-point play. Missed that. Potentially could have turned it for 2. Tommy gets a big 2-piece on the defensive end. That is how we are scoreless at this point in the game.
Tommy again, I hear him getting louder and louder. 9-4 right now. He talked about how in respawns yesterday, he was very up and down, really just playing quite poorly, and it was a reason why his team was even finding themselves in some tough scenarios to win series. Right now, the first player to hit double digits. He's cleared out the Rise Nation base. Fnatic looking for their first point of the game.
He's got 1 player in the back.
Oh my
right. That is a huge battle win for Tommy. They pass him the drone, so he's getting very close to streaks as well. He's going to earn the Scarab. trying to earn these full streaks here, Jack. That would be huge for Fnatic.
And look, he's still in the Rise Nation base. They're having to look for him everywhere. Bombardment now for Tommy, 13 and 4 on a 6 streak, make it 7. The drone, no beatdown. He tries to run past, unfortunately. A little bit of an awkward timing on that slide. Rise do at least stop the push for the second.
14 and 5 start for Tommy. Talked about the respawn struggles the other day. Thus far here in the uplink, he has been fantastic on the defensive end, stops points going in for Rise Nation, and then on offense, just locking down the Rise Nation base there with that 7 streak. Already with his payload ability, another 2-piece for Tommy. Now he's putting together another streak here. The score streaks coming on in. Oh, look at this, Jack may be able to pick up a few. He's only gonna get 1. Ooh. Another player directly in front of him, but see if Fnatic can turn this into points. They do have Scraps pushed all the way up into the base. He falls. Looks like they're going to try and throw the drone out. Slay. Good defensive hold here from Rise.
Yeah, beautifully done by Rise Nation. They win the one gunfight they need to in their base. That kind of leaves Scraps out by himself with that objective. And now Facento's cleared out this lemon area of the map. That'll give Rise Nation the opportunity to rotate on back. Awkward positioning there for Scraps as he does kill off Wuskin, his teammate and brother. 2-1. Rise Nation finally out on the board after 4 minutes of play.
Looney gets a throw over the top, and it's getting scary for Fnatic. You see all the arrows of Rise Nation trying to lock down this Fnatic base. It's a big kill from Wuskin. Aqua in the feed with 1, and you see Fnatic just trying to trade these kills out, preventing more points going on the board. Looney over the top, though, picks up 2 big kills. He has a teammate following up, should be able to pick up the drone. Looney can pick up maybe 1 or 2 more kills. We're going to see some points on the board for Rise Nation.
Most certainly, and now here comes that push. He's got 1 player to his right, cuts him down. Aqua's still there, 2-piece of his own. Can he convert to 3rd? He's got the help of Facento. This will be a dunk and the lead for the North American squad. Rise Nation turning things up here in the second half of side 1.
And if you are Fnatic, you need somebody to show up other than Tommy. I mean, Sunny B right now with 11 kills, but Wuskins and Scraps 8 and 9 kills respectively. Not going to cut it here against Rise Nation. They do have streaks, though, going into the second half. So down 1 with streaks, not the end of the world here for Fnatic.
No, not at all. There's a great look at Rise Nation. Fist bumps all around as they know the slow start they had on that map to be up by 1 at the half, especially after Tommy gets fully streaked out. It's really a best case scenario. Matt, it's kind of ironic. Tommy was his own biggest critic last night and said, I'm costing us in respawns. My teammates are all playing well. I'm the one doing poorly. Now it's Tommy going absolutely off, and a pretty flat start to this uplink from all 3 of his teammates.
But you do get a little bit of a better second half from either Scraps or Wuskin. Sunny B kind of keeps playing the way he is right now. And Fnatic could definitely take this game, Jack. It's going to be an opening kill from Wuskin. Tommy trying to go right up the middle. Gets so close to nailing that beatdown. Gets taken down, though, before he can get that melee off. And now you see the pressure of Fnatic starting to give Rise Nation some problems.
Yeah, and it all starts with Scraps with this drone. He's made it all the way into Granny's. He's got to try to dart back and get the kill, but Aqua, the swift shot and beat down, the 3-piece. Now Fnatic, they're sent to the defensive side. What can they do to stop pushing Rise Nation? This is the thing, Matt. Tommy, who was monstrous for the first start of side 1, has slowed down and thus has the map control for Fnatic.
Yeah, it's going to be huge for Fnatic in the second half. I mean, if Tommy does not bring it and nobody else really steps up, this is one where Rise Nation can blow it open, kind of like they did in the search. It's going to be Facento throwing the drone forward for some yards, seeing if a teammate can get in position, but Looney trying to come around on a flank here, trying to spread the members of Fnatic out. They get the drone into the base for a second there. If he's there a second earlier, maybe he'll pick up that kill and put in a dunk.
That was almost the second time where Fnatic this game have tried to reset the drone and have actually missed and fallen short. Now Tommy having to use a streak in his own base defensively. He team kills someone. Rise Nation have bodies there. Felony for the 1. 4-2 now the game. The streak's going away. The lead going up for Rise Nation. Fnatic crumbling in the last few minutes.
I don't know if you really needed to use the streak there, Jack. I probably would have saved it later in the game. I mean, what's the worst? I mean, they put through a 1-point play. Maybe they put through a 2. You got to trust yourself a little bit to be able to kind of get map control back eventually and push on forward, or use the streak offensively to really open it up.
And you saw the team kill. The reason Wuskin got team killed was because he was already in the position he wanted to be in. He drops it on down. That clears out the lane for Felony to go for the 1 instead of there being an interception opportunity. Crazy thing to take note of, though, even with how slow things have gotten for Fnatic, finally Sunny B picking it up with the 5 streak, they're still only down by 1 possession, Matt, and they've got overdrive ready. They've still got FTL jump, 2 payloads to the 0 of Rise Nation.
We'll see if Sunny B can pick up another one here. Not able to do so, trying to go all the way towards Lemon. And what Fnatic was so good at in Uplink, Jack, they just do not seem to be bringing in this one. They were so good at, picking up the kills mid-map, having those lead blockers. They have not been able to do it here. It's going to be another point for Rise Nation. Fnatic just seems all out of sorts here in Uplink.
Tommy just went for the longest flank of all time just to shoot one player in the back and then get traded on out. He wasn't there to help defend his base, and now it's Rise Nation with their largest lead of the game at 3 points. 5 unanswered points across the last 6 minutes of play. Oh my God. That sums up where this game has gone, Matt.
That's not nice. A few missed shots there. Vicento absolutely destroying there. He was on a 7 streak. Eventually, they get him out of his base. But I feel like every time we got on with Fnatic, they're just trying to figure out how to clear out their own base, not even making it close towards the middle of the map. And Tommy, I believe he has 20 kills at the half. We only have like 2 minutes to go, and he's at 26 right now, so not a very good second half.
Okay, so what just happened right there? Sunny B pops overdrive and runs so fast he jukes both players of Rise Nation who still thought he was back at silo. So he's able to get the flank on them, throw in at least the one to bring it back to a 2-point game. They've now got middle map control. With 90 seconds left, Matt, this is still a possible win.
You do have Tommy with his FTL jump. We'll see how he decides to use that ability here. See in the feed, he falls at the hands of Aqua, but Wuskin getting in position here, able to get one, not able to turn on Felony. It's going to be Scraps picking it up towards the middle of the map.
Wow.
But he is not too close to this camo, Jack. You do have Looney very close to that camo for Rise Nation.
Keep an eye on that, especially maybe Fnatic can force an overtime. Looney might have that if they do need it. 2 dead, make it 3. This is Fnatic's best chance. They've got 1 player to beat here. He's right around the corner. Vicento does get first blood. Rise Nation players spawning on up. They don't get the drone out in time. Tommy with the beat down as well. Drone moving forward. Tommy now with 3. Can he get the 1 in time? Yes, we've got ourselves a 1-point game with 35 seconds left.
See how Fnatic decides to play this. Sunny B trying to get towards mid-map. Oh, and if they don't spot him, he may be able to pick up 1 or 2 kills there. Just put the game away, and Scraps gets to mid-map, has the drone, throws it forward. Nobody even close there, though. If you're Rise Nation, you just need to play keep away with the drone right now. Felony throws it in front, 15 seconds left, Fnatic down 1.
And remember, no overdrive left for Fnatic, only 10 seconds remaining. I don't think they're gonna have enough time to go for this one. Aqua going for the pinch, they throw it to middle map, nobody's even there, they reset it. Rise Nation narrowly take map number 3, 5-4.
If Sunny B doesn't get spotted near mid-map, maybe that plays out completely different. Maybe he picks up 1 kill there. Now they're able to trade out in the middle of the map. But I think you look, Looney did have that camo in case anything got out of hand. Scraps does not earn the camo to put points on the board for Fnatic. That's going to be Rise Nation taking a 2-1 lead in the series going into our 4th hardpoint.
You could make an argument that some misuses of streaks really could cost Fnatic on that map. Tommy there looking at his team, he knows that that was arguably their best game mode, now lost. And they've got to go to a hardpoint game 4.
Well, imagine they had the bombardment a little bit later in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you're able to use it to kind of clear out mid-map, push on forward, because Tommy picks up like 2 kills. There's only 1 guy left in that base. You maybe turn that into 1. You use that, kill them off the spawn with the bombardment. Maybe you get back towards mid-map, make it a little bit more interesting.
Well, it doesn't wind up working out. Scraps or Looney do not earn their camos. So in the end, it's a camo-free uplink game. It's a 1-point win there for Rise Nation. We'll take a look at our box score before we get into this game number 4. And game 4 is where Rise Nation secured the series the first time these teams met. Yep. Felony actually went off in the hard point. He was like 38-21 or something along those lines. And Fnatic and crew had no idea how to shut him down.
Yeah, but you did see Fnatic, though. They took that first hard point today.
They did.
So it might be a little bit of a different go-around here. The second matchup between these 2 teams. Tommy had a fantastic first half, 20 kills, 9 kills in the second half of that game.
He had over a 2.0 KD at the end of that full run. Crazy to see how much he fell off, and because of it, how much Fnatic did slow down. The 1-point difference was all that mattered for Rise Nation, as they now have a series lead up 2-1, and you've got to think, hey, even if Rise do go to game 5, they've already won an S&D in this series. They've now got hardpoint up in game 4. Matt, do we see the game 5, or does this one end here?
I think potentially you do see a game 5.
Okay.
But it's kind of hard. I mean, if Scraps and Wuskins don't play, up to par here in the hard point, I mean, they did not look great in the uplink. And to be quite fair, I mean, if Looney plays like he did in the second half of the hard point, maybe they win that one, or at least it's a lot closer.
I'll tell you right now, these tie scenarios, these all different ways that this group can end up is much, much different if Rise Nation win this, because we know our final match of the night will be Rise Nation versus FaZe. Another thing to keep in mind, if Fnatic win this, I can't repeat it enough, if they win this, their next series right after this is them versus Evil Geniuses. Both of those teams would then be 3-2. The winner of that would be 4-2, thus winning this group. There is a very strong chance that EG, after going 0-6 in map count day 1, can win this blue group.
After going 0-2, they potentially could run the table.
Yeah.
I mean, they win this back-to-back 2-0 days. Be huge for EG, a team that has showed up every time with their backs against the wall. They're doing it here, man.
It's you know what it is? It's like they're so used to starting in the open bracket at the major LAN events that finally they get an even playing field. They're like, no, this isn't like what we don't like doing this. Let's go ahead and go 0-2 with an 0-6 map count and then go on the run that we're used to doing. Can EG fans have just an event where they can relax and have a solid placing?
And they just look like a completely different team than the first day.
Yeah.
I mean, Friday, they looked awful. I mean, they could not have looked any worse on Friday. I mean, yeah, it was just, there was like no positives to take from that team on Friday.
But then I just tweeted, you've got Nagafen actually going positive in respawns, and he's hitting some snipes. He's all grown up. He's finally back to being a factor in the map.
And I mean, Havoc has played quite well. Nameless, though, for me, has been just the key for that team. I mean, when he is loud and he's shooting the way he's shooting with the assault rifles in his hands, it's a very tough team to beat.
You know, the EG players are doing well when Study, who's typically a flashy playmaker, is the least talked about for his team, but that's Evil Geniuses. Right now, we've got Rise Nation Fnatic. Rise narrowly winning that game 3 after they completely walked over Fnatic in Search and Destroy game 2. Let's get it started. Retaliation hard point. We're watching the NV4 of Facento off the break.
And this is a map that, speaking to some of the Europeans, they said definitely is one of Fnatic's stronger ones. In hardpoint, it's a little bit slower. They can play a little bit further back. You see Fnatic pick up 2 kills right away. Facento answering right back, coming on this lower wall run, able to get 3. Oh, almost able to snap onto the last one, but it'll be Rise Nation getting control of bridge hardpoint first.
Aqua, this map was made for him with a gun like the NV4. Let's see how well he can do. No tac mask on, so these jammer grenades are going to play spoiler at times. 3 dead, though. Final player up is Sunny B from Fnatic. He gets cut down, and the hardline bonus already coming into play. The first streak already earned. It's a Scarab in the first 35 seconds.
And when Tommy picks up 2 kills, why is Fnatic not just flooding the hill and trading that out? They're just sitting there basically letting Rise Nation pick them up from afar. 37 seconds and counting here for Rise Nation in the first hardpoint. Aqua on this 3 streak, tags up 1, gets him really weak. Not able to finish him off.
Yeah.
An awful start for Fnatic.
The worst case scenario, thankfully for them, they do have a presence near the new hill. They've got a player top patio, they have someone top bedroom. The back player, though, who was Sunny B, just got gunned by Aqua, who's now 1 kill off the bombardment already. And we're just a minute into this game. There it is, Aqua, a 5-0 start from him.
Just trying to pick up 1 on top flat.
Oh my God!
Oh, he turns and annihilates Tommy there.
You know what this reminds me of? Karma's start versus FaZe on this exact map in game mode. I forget what event that was, where he was like 14-2 to break off the map. Look at Aqua, 7-0. Talk about the player picking it up for Rise Nation. Welcome to your top 5 plays, Aqua. And he's rotating to the 3rd hill.
Fnatic is just getting crushed right now. And this is what, like, I feel like this is Fnatic's kind of downfall as a team, right? I mean, they do not have a player who can do this, what Aqua's doing right now. I mean, he is just so explosive at times. Calling down the missiles, gonna get 1. Cathedral hardpoint comes up, 9-0. 3 hardpoints, Aqua has not died yet.
About to earn himself another Trinity rocket on this life. He finally could meet his demise here, as multiple players from Fnatic are about to charge on through. Looney does help with 1, make it 2. He knows the pinch is coming on in 10-0 from Aqua, but now he's getting swarmed from everywhere, finally. What? I would love to know the time on how long he just lived. That was his first death, and we're halfway through this first rotation of hills.
Oh, just crazy start for Rise Nation.
And look, streaks on retaliation, Matt.
Yep.
Talk about why
I mean,
they're so good on here.
I mean, the Graveyard, obviously, Cathedral completely wide open. You're able to streak that out pretty easily. And then over on Broken, the next hard point, you're able to streak the back, get the spawns for the team. And Rise Nation, they rotate. They have control of Broken. Fnatic needs a break here instantly, Jack. I mean, if they let Rise Nation hold on to this, I mean, just start wrapping up the controllers. Let's start moving on, because, I mean, this is going to be a blowout.
Scraps doing what he can for his team. He's the last player alive here. One shot, gets the call out and the cleanup. Looney was having a great game himself, obviously overshadowed by Aqua for just a little bit. He's 11-4, turning it around from that 1-12 performance to start off map 1.
You erased the first, the first rotation to Hills on the hardpoint, and Looney's had a fantastic series.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, other than that first initial rotation on Breakout, he has been fantastic in the S&D and the uplane.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He literally, it was a 3v4 for that first rotation.
Oh, he was pretty bad.
But since then, Looney's doing a great job. Bombardment actually comes in from Aqua, and that, for me, was a misuse of this streak. With only 20 seconds left, he calls it in, kills his teammate. They get no presence off of it. I would say that for top bridge, right? Fnatic still hold the hard point.
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic gonna get the last, few seconds here. We will go to the hotel hallway. Aqua, though, picking up some more kills, and Sunny B, we talked about it. We were worried a little bit about him in the respawn game modes. 3 and 14 right now. Not looking good for Sunny B here and Fnatic, as they are down by almost 100. Easy kill there for Felony over in top plat, watching this entranceway towards the hard point. Felony gonna pick up another one. 3 more kills in the feed for Rise. They're just winning every fight, Jack. I mean, every fight that Fnatic starts, over in the hard points, Rise is winning with these.
Rise is on pace to outslay their opponents by 35 kills on this map, Matt. That is one of the most one-sided performances we've seen so far this weekend. Another challenge comes in. Aqua with the cleanup. He's 17-5, triple positive on another streak here. Making 3, possibly about to be 4. What are you shooting at, Scraps? Why was that even that close?
Yeah, Aqua just seems like he's invisible at times. I mean, he starts off the game like there's multiple players looking at him. Nobody hits him. We're going to go all the way back to that bridge hard point. It'll be Rise Nation up 174-76 on Fnatic. Fnatic needs a huge second half to bring this one back, Jack. But with the way that Rise is slaying right now, it's going to be really hard for Fnatic to get hot and swing it in their favor.
Aqua by himself has more time in the objective than the entirety of Fnatic combined. You also point out he's got 1 minute and 41 seconds. Eddie's 19-8, leading the game in slaying. Sunny B 5-19 with only 2 seconds in the hill. Is he the lone SMG player on this entire map?
I think he just switched over to the SMG, so he had the K-bar in his hands. Now with the ERAD, I think he's just searching for something that works. I mean, trying to put a lot of pressure on Rise, but Rise, I mean, you have Aqua with the NV4 in his hands, and same with Vicento. I mean, when they're hitting shots like that, I mean, what do you do?
Jesus,
I mean, what do you do?
Aqua.
I mean, when he's playing this well, what else can you possibly do?
I said it after he got the first kill on that first hard point. I said this is a map made for Aqua with the NV4, and he's showing it right now, 23-8. Fnatic have no answer. He is still triple positive, Matt, and they've been through 9 hills of this game. He's looking for more here towards top plat. Oh, a little bit awkward as Wuskin does cut him down, but either way, Rise Nation 208-98, a 110-second lead.
Yeah, I mean, Aqua's just challenging everything as well. I mean, you can see Rise Nation is not afraid to take these gunfights versus Fnatic. They know they have the hot hand. They have Fnatic, dead in the water, so to speak. They just need to close it out.
Vicento, teammates do die around him. Nice job by Wuskin to at least clean him up. Fnatic's going to start the comeback. It's got to be right now. They need to get the rotation, too, towards this top.
They need Cathedral.
They need Cathedral for the full 60 seconds. There's no doubt about that. One thing to take note of as well, look at how far Scraps is from the payload. Look at how far Sunny B is from the payload. They're not going to have any utility to work with outside of really Tommy's FTL jump, which, I mean, what does that mean on a map like this?
Yep, not getting you 60 seconds. Yep, I'll tell you that. It's 2 kills, though, on the rotation for Fnatic. They need to go, Jack, though. They cannot give up any time here in Cathedral. This first opening break is it. If they don't break it here,
FTL jump, there we go.
Be it.
Tommy tries to use it to get in the hard point. Nice, cheeky way of popping that payload for dead on Rise Nation. And here is where a comeback begins. 40 seconds left on Cathedral. Rise up by 70.
So Scraps on a 3 streak, Sunny B on a 3 streak, and Tommy now working on streaks as well. They need one of these players to earn score streaks to make this possible. I mean, you're going to need those score streaks to break over towards Broken. 2 more kills in the feed. Sunny B now on a 4 streak. He gets taken out by Facento. It's going to be Tommy in the hill alone. He has players challenging him, not able to win any of those fights. 18 seconds left on the hill. Fnatic needs the challenge. Big 2-piece there by Scraps.
And look at how much score that just gave Scraps for the camo. He's now got himself close to the payload. Still a 1-minute lead, though, after how much better Fnatic have played on these last 2 hills.
Tommy trying to get Facento to jump down, challenges him, accomplishes that goal. You see how far away Fnatic is spawning, Jack. All the way back by Cathedral. They're going to need a miracle here to make this comeback.
They have such a far trek to go. 2:35 now the score that Rise Nation is at. They are within 10 seconds of securing this series victory and joining EG at 3-2. Sunny B, who's been quiet all game, trying to charge on in. He's cut down. Only one player is there. Wuskin dead. Rise Nation. 250 to 174. Take down Fnatic.
It was just that map 1 for Rise Nation. They got off to a slow start. They picked it up after that. They're able to dominate game 2, game 3, and game 4 and take this series.
Fnatic came out of the gates hot. I saw them scrimming phase prior to today starting. They have been practicing for the last, hour and a half before this match. Rise, though, after that, great to see composure from them to battle right back on through. How different did this series look, Matt, after Rise take that S&D 6-0?
Oh, I mean, after the hard point, I mean, it was just a completely different game.
Yep.
I mean, Rise dominated the S&D. Everybody showed up in the uplink, and then the game 4, Aqua just comes in, closes it out.
Well, we now have ourselves 2 teams at 3-2. It's pretty simple, Rise and EG. Up next on the main stage, we will see Fnatic versus EG. And then later on tonight, Rise Nation versus FaZe Clan. I'm not going to do any of the addition. I'm not going to talk about scenarios because I could tell you right now, I have no idea what the hell is going on. I did see Maven, though, moving his way on over to the main stage. We'll have an interview there very briefly.
The way he walks, probably another 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to look. Oh, wait, he is ready. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I want to make
Somebody
sure
probably
he got
told
up.
him to hustle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The old man got up there. Maven with Felony, take it away.
All right, Felony, I had the chance to actually meet your parents for the first time, and we were chatting. This is actually the first event they've actually been at to see you live. What's it mean, to have this much pressure? Trying to play for $500,000, you got your parents here rooting you on.
I love that my parents support me in gaming. It's honestly like the best feeling as a player and competing at the events. It just really gives you that much more motivation to keep going through the event, and I thank them for coming to support me.
It's awesome, man. Yeah, we have to chat for a little bit outside, but I want to talk a little bit now about the gameplay. So, first map doesn't go great. Looney starts out slow, picks it up. By the time he does, it's sort of out of hand. They take the first map. You guys rebounded so strong with the 6-0 in the game 2. What was the team chat like after the game 1? How do you guys rebound so strong?
We went down 0-2, 0-1 in so many series throughout teaming together. We just make sure in our search and destroy just to forget about the last map we lost, and then just to focus up on the next map and taking a map at a time, and that's exactly what we did.
Well, everybody really getting involved. You got full team effort there. I want you to talk to me a little bit about Game 4. How much easier does it make it when Aqua is going on sprees like that? The guy was lights out, I think started 9-0. What makes him a special player?
Yuli with an MV4, he has an amazing shot, and streaks on retaliation are just so important because of how open the hills are. So as soon as he got streaks, we were just able to snowball some hills together and get a good lead going.
Well, going forward, I haven't looked through all scenarios yet. I'm leaving that to the analysis desk, but you're poised for what could be the key match in the final one of the day. It's going to be you guys going up against FaZe Clan. How do you feel about that matchup?
I love playing against FaZe. It's always a great match, so it'll be suited well for the last match of the weekend.
I'll be casting it, and I'm pumped, but that's great stuff from Felony. Now I want to hear what the guys think on the desk.
Thank you very much, Clint. A phenomenal performance, of course, there from Rise. They put themselves in a